Let's take a moment and imagine something for a second. The year is 1967. The world is racing, politically, socially, technologically. But while most people were stuck watching history unfold through newspapers and black and white television sets, a small elite group of riders were experiencing something very different. The raw, roaring, uncontrollable power of the world's fastest motorcycles. This wasn't about fuel efficiency, it wasn't about comfort, and it definitely wasn't about rules. This was freedom, engineered into metal, rubber, and gasoline. These machines were dangerous, brutal, and in many cases, it's way ahead of their time. Because here's a truth no one talks about. The 1960s wasn't just the golden age of rock music or revolutions. It was a secret battlefield where motorcycle manufacturers pushed their limits to create something that could challenge the laws of physics and terrify even the bravest men alive. But guess what? Most people today don't even remember these beasts. They've been buried in old garages, museum corners, or worse, forgotten completely by modern riders who think fast is just a software-controlled sports bike. Number. In the 60s, fast meant you needed guts. You needed skill. Because back then, if you weren't careful, your bike would chew you up and spit you into a ditch. There were no traction controls, no ABS, no digital dashboards, just engine, throttle, and willpower. Now ask yourself, would you have had the courage to tame these monsters? Would you have been one of the few who could handle speeds over 100, 120, even 150 miles per hour on thin tires and zero electronics? Because that's what we're diving into today. This isn't a soft little nostalgia trip. This is a raw, dangerous countdown of the 15 fastest motorcycles of the 1960s. The machines that rewrote the rules of what was possible on two wheels. And here's the manipulative part. I'm not just going to list specs and names. I'm going to make you feel what it was like to sit on those bikes, grip the bars, twist the throttle, and suddenly realize you're accelerating into a world where the line between life and death was thinner than a wire spoke. You'll see brands you thought you knew: Honda, Triumph, BSA in a completely different light. And you'll meet machines you've never even heard of. But once you do, they'll haunt you until you feel the urge to ride, restore, or just respect what they were. Because if you care about speed, real speed, if you care about motorcycles that demanded your soul just to ride them, then buckle up. Because this list is not just a trip back in time, it's a confrontation with what motorcycles used to mean before the world became safe, slow, and silent. Let's dive into the 15 fastest motorcycles of the 1960s and expose the forgotten legends that once ruled the asphalt jungle. Number 15. BSA Spitfire Mike IV. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. It was raw, British, and angry. The Spitfire wasn't built to please everyone. It was built to dominate backroads and racetracks with unfiltered aggression. This 650cc twin felt like it was always one misfire away from exploding. It vibrated so hard it blurred your vision. But that was the point. Because if you could handle that, you earned the speed. It was made for men who didn't want smoothness. They wanted violence in the form of horsepower. Number 14. Yamaha YDS3. Top speed, 105 miles per hour. The Japanese invasion began here. The YDS3 was deceptive. It looked tame, but under the tank was a two-stroke 246cc twin that could scream past expectations. It wasn't about brute force, it was about precision. And when the Western world laughed at little Japanese bikes, the YDS3 quietly passed them in the left lane and never looked back. This was the motorcycle that made Japan dangerous in global speed competitions. Number 13. Ducati Mach 1. Top speed, 106 miles per hour. Italy's elegant assassin. The Ducati Mach 1 was not built for beginners, it demanded finesse. With only 248cc, it punched far above its weight. Why? Because it was tuned like a race bike. It revved high. It cornered hard. It screamed like a banshee at full throttle. In fact, it was the fastest 250cc production bike in the world when it launched. You didn't just ride a Mach 1, you earned it. Number 12. BMW R69s. Top speed, 110 miles per hour. German engineering with a soul. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't loud, but it could outrun most bikes with terrifying composure. With its horizontally opposed twin and smooth shaft drive, it was built for long, fast hauls across post-war Europe. The R69s didn't try to kill you, it tried to seduce you into going faster. It felt like a machine smarter than you were, and that was both exciting and intimidating. Number 11. Triumph T120. Bonneville. Top speed, 118 miles per hour. The name says it all. Bonneville, a word that still echoes in speed culture. The T120 wasn't just a fast bike, it was a movement. With its 650cc engine and signature parallel twin roar, it became the poster child of rebellion in the UK and US. If you owned a Bonnie, you were already dangerous. But if you mastered it, you became unstoppable. Number 10. Norton Atlas. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. They called it the gentleman's bike, but that was a lie. The Atlas was a snarling 750cc twin wrapped in British leather. Its power delivery was brutal, and its frame known as the featherbed made it corner like a cheetah on amphetamines. It didn't purr, it growled, and every time you hit the throttle, it asked you one question: are you sure you're ready for this? Number 9. Moto Guzzi V7. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. Moto Guzzi was always the rebel in the Italian family. The V7 wasn't flashy like a Ducati. It was muscular, intimidating. Its transverse V-twin gave it instant torque and a unique character that made it unforgettable. This bike felt alive not electronically, but spiritually. Every ride was a battle between elegance and wildness, and it made you addicted to both. Number 8. Royal Enfield Interceptor Mach 1. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. Before Enfield became a hipster's dream, it was America's problem. The Interceptor was a 750cc brute built in the UK for American roads. Big, long, and fast. It was the British answer to Harley dominance, and it held its own. It had torque for days, acceleration like a train, and an exhaust note that made car drivers move out of your way. It was pure intimidation. Number 7. Velocette Venom Thruxton. Top speed, 120 plus miles per F. The Thruxton wasn't a bike, it was a bullet. Velocette pushed their 499cc single-cylinder to its absolute limit, creating a machine that could outrun many 650S and 750S. It was a racing bike in street disguise, and every throttle twist reminded you of that. No compromises, no apologies. It was designed for racers, not riders. Number 6. Suzuki T500 Titan. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. Here's the irony: this 500cc two-stroke destroyed many four-strokes. The Titan was cheap, reliable, and faster than people expected. And that's what made it dangerous. It caught people off guard. Twist the throttle too hard, and you'd be sideways before you knew what happened. It was lightweight, aggressive, and always on the edge of chaos. Number 5. Honda CB 450 Black Bomber. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. This was Honda's open challenge to the British Empire. The CB 450 brought DOHC technology to the street, something that was racing exclusive until then. It was smoother, faster, more efficient, and it terrified the traditionalists. They called it the Black Bomber, because once it hit your streets, your sales died. It rewrote what fast could look like, and it did it quietly. Number 4. Triumph Trident T 150. Top speed, 130 miles per hour. The triple-cylinder beast. Triumph's answer to the looming Japanese threat was the Trident. 3 cylinders, brutal acceleration, and a top end that made riders see God. It had its flaws, oil leaks, vibrations, and questionable reliability, but when it ran right, it could annihilate everything else on the road. It was the last roar of the British Lion before the empire collapsed. Number 3. Honda CB 750. Top speed, 135 miles per hour. This wasn't just a motorcycle. It was the motorcycle that killed the old world. The CB 750 was affordable, fast, smooth, and reliable. It had front disc brakes unheard of at the time, and it could hit 135 miles per hour with grace. This wasn't just the fastest, it was the smartest. And it marked the end of the British and American era. Number 2. Levera 750 SFC. Top speed 135, 140 miles per hour. Only a few men ever rode it. Even fewer ever tamed it. The 750 SFC was a racing weapon made street legal, hand-built, precision-tuned. It was loud, fast, and so rare it became a myth. But if you got your hands on one and lived to tell the tale, you earned your place in history? Number 1. Vincent Black Shadow. Top speed 150 plus miles per hour unofficial. Technically released in the 50s, but remained the king through the 60s. The Black Shadow was a monster, pure mechanical madness. It was the first production motorcycle to cross 150 miles per hour, and it didn't even look real. Phil Vincent once said, "If it's not fast enough, you're not trying." Riding it felt like controlling a tornado. Even today, nothing matches the fear, beauty, and brutality of the Black Shadow. So now, you've seen them. The legends, the outlaws, the speed demons of the 1960s. But let me ask you something. Do you feel it? That ache in your chest like something was taken from you before you were even born? Because these weren't just motorcycles. These were living, roaring, fire-breathing rebellions on 2 wheels, built with no apology, no electronics, no restrictions. And the only thing separating you from the pavement was your courage. You see, bikes today may be faster on paper, but they'll never have what these machines had soul. Modern bikes whisper, "These ones?" They screamed. Now here's what I want you to do. Go down to the comments and tell me which one haunted you the most. Was it the Vincent Black Shadow that looked like it escaped from hell? Was it the Ducati Mach 1 tiny, deadly, and unstoppable? Or maybe the CB 750, the silent assassin that killed an entire generation of bikes? Or maybe, just maybe, you've ridden one of these. Maybe your father owned one. Maybe you crashed one. Maybe it was your first love. Whatever it is, don't keep it to yourself. Drop your memories, your stories, even your regrets in the comments. This is more than just a video. It's a shrine to a lost era. And every story you share down there keeps that era alive. Because here's the truth. These bikes won't come back, but the feeling they gave us can. And if you're someone who still believes motorcycles should terrify you a little, if you believe bikes should feel like they're barely obeying you, then hit that like button so hard it rattles your screen. And subscribe, because this channel isn't about trending tech. It's about honoring the wild. And if this video made your heart beat faster, just imagine what's coming next. See you in the next ride. Stay reckless. Stay free.